Last and First Men, a story of the near and far future by Olaf Stapledon-Introduction by one of the last men. This book has two authors, one contemporary with its readers, the other an inhabitant of an age which they would call the distant future. The brain that conceives these sentences lived in the time of Einstein, yet I, the true inspirer of this book, I who had begotten it upon that brain, I who influenced that primitive being's conception, inhabit an age which for Einstein lies in the very remote future. The actual writer thinks he is merely contracting a work of fiction, though he seeks to tell a plausible story. He neither believes it himself nor expects others to believe it, yet the story is true. Being who you would see a future man has seized the docile but scarcely adequate brain of your contemporary and is trying to direct its familiar processes for an alien purpose. As the future agent makes contact with your age, listen patiently, for we who have the last men earnestly desire to communicate with you who are members of the first human species. We can help you and we need your help. You cannot believe that your acquaintance with time is very imperfect, and so your understanding of it is defeated. But no matter, do not perplex yourselves about this truth so difficult to you, so familiar to us of a later eon. Do but entertain merely as a fiction the idea that the thought and will of individuals' future to you may intrude rarely and with difficulty into the mental processes of some of your contemporaries. Pretend that you believe this and that the following chronicle is an authentic message from the last men. Imagine the consequences of such a belief, otherwise I cannot give life to the great history which it is my task to tell. When your writers romance of the future, they too easily imagine a progress towards some kind of utopia in which beings like themselves live in unmitigated bliss among circumstances perfectly sweet to a fixed human nature. I shall not describe any such paradise. Instead, I shall record huge fluctuations of joy and woe, the results of changes not only in man's environment but in his fluid nature. And I must tell how in my own age, having at last achieved spiritual maturity and the philosophical mind, man is forced by an unexpected crisis to embark on an enterprise both repugnant and desperate. I invite you then to travel in imagination through the eons that lie between your age and mine. I ask you to watch such a history of change, grief, hope, and unforeseen catastrophe as has nowhere else occurred within the girdle of the Milky Way. But first, it is well to contemplate for a few moments the mere magnitudes of cosmical events, for, compressed as it must necessarily be, the narrative that I have to tell may seem to present a sequence of adventures and disasters crowded together, with no intervening GIs. But in fact, man's career has been less like a mountain torrent hurtling from rock to rock than a great sluggish river, broken very seldom by rapids, ages of quiescence, often of actual stagnation, filled with the monotonous problems and toils of countless almost identical lives, tagged and punctuated by rare moments of racial adventure. Nay, Even these few seemingly rapid events themselves were in fact often long drawn out and tedious. They acquire a mere illusion of speed from the speed of the narrative.